Welcome back everybody. As you probably guessed from the title of the video, today we're going over Olight's monthly flash sale, and if you clicked on this video and are triggered by it despite knowing the title of it and what you were actually about to click on, then I suggest that you seek psychological help because there's something wrong with you. Now for everybody else who's clicked on it because they're interested to see what kind of cool stuff is coming out this month for the flash sale, welcome. And one thing to note is that as of when I'm actually making this video, the VIP customers for Olight already have access to the flash sale, and for everybody else, it will begin on the date that you guys see here on your screen. So I tried to sort of strike a happy medium, because if I do it when it's live for everyone, the VIP members get mad, and if I do it when the VIP members only have access, everybody else gets mad. So it is what it is. Anyway, so we're just gonna walk through the lights here, and then we're gonna step outside and do a beam comparison of them to let you guys know what kind of output that you can get. So up first here, this is the Freyr. It's an interesting light for sure. It can be used in a multitude of roles. It has really good output, good candela, all of those sorts of things, but it can also do other things. It has a sensor there on the actual reflector itself surface, and what that does is it actually senses how close it is to something. So if you have it, you know, full blast on high and you get it right close to, like, I don't know, your refrigerator or something like that, it'll dim down so that way the reflection coming off of it doesn't blind you. So that is cool. It also has multiple color modes here that can be used for signaling. It comes with this little wand device here, and you guys can kind of see there. On camera here inside the studio, you probably can't tell, but that is actually red. We'll show you that outside, and then it has some other colors as well. This can actually be stored in there with it. The clip itself is removable, and then it has these little cooling fins built into it, which certainly is nice. It's kind of like a heat sink on there because, again, super high powered output light. And it also has a tail cap switch, so that way, you know, you can press it slightly and have it be on low and then really get on it and go on high. That is called a gas pedal tail cap switch, and it's powered by a rechargeable battery which charges here through the tail cap. Comes with a magnetic switch to charge it, and a standard Olight battery there on that one. And again, the clip is removable if you want to use that. It does have a 1-inch light body if you want to weapon mount it, and this button here is how you control all the different modes there on the side. So definitely some good switching capabilities and choices, I guess you could say, for that. Now this one here is an interesting light. It is the Odin, but it has the LEP technology. So basically this is a laser. Technically not a light, but it's a class 1 LEP flashlight. So just like with IR lasers, there's different classes of these, because some of the class 3 ones and some of the class 2 ones, in fact, can be dangerous if used incorrectly. These have been used to shine at, you know, airplanes that are miles in the sky and can cause some serious issues. This thing, I believe, is in the 300s in terms of lumens, but in terms of candela, it's almost 300,000. So they make LEP flashlights, if you look around the internet, that are up to literally 2 million candela right now. So those are the ones that are really potentially dangerous. Now, even with the class 1, they say not to shine it in your eyes. That said, class 1 is supposedly safe for the eyes in terms of damaging it. That said, if you shine this thing in someone's face within 300 yards, they're going to be in pain. I can guarantee it, as you guys will see when we step outside and take a look there at the beam pattern. It's weapon mountable, of course. You could also handhold it if you wanted to, and it has their standard 1913 mount that comes with it, which can be mounted either in the 90-degree position, or you can also mount it here like that, whichever way you want to do so. And it also is compatible with Surefire Scout mounts with their own native mount. When you're mounting it, you want to make sure that you lock it, turn it to the lock position, so that way it can't just come off. Under recoil, it does have, again, a gas pedal type tail cap where you press it for low and then you really get on it for high. And it's compatible with all Surefire Scout mounts out there, which I really do like. That makes it a much, much more versatile light than some of the other offerings out there. Comes with a tape cap switch as well, if I could speak. So when you mount it up there, it just mounts via magnetic pressure, but you can pull it off. And then if you push it forward, it has the ability to lock on there, as you guys can see. Now, I've had that come off under recoil, but only on machine guns. Other than that, your normal type of gun, it's unlikely to happen. But I think with machine guns, it actually shakes that little point if my microphone can pick it up, it's a detent there. And I think machine guns shake it, but I haven't had a problem with it with semi-automatic guns. It does have a 1913 mountable tape switch as well. Me personally, for a defensive gun, I don't like this attachment system. I would just use my thumb there to activate the light if I was going to do it. It's not that it's likely to come undone, it's just Murphy's Law, you know, in weapons. So I personally would use it as is on the weapon light. But again, a lot of folks are going to handheld use this as well for a searchlight. One thing that's interesting about a lot of the LEP lights out there is that the color and temperature ranges are different than what you're going to see on a lot of weapon lights. And the reason for that is they go with stuff that's like in the 4,500 to 5,000 you know, temperature range. So that way it can push through clouds, fog, things like that really well. The original prototypes of this, which I got months ago, sent out, had a even lower temperature than that. And my recommendation was to bump that up to over 4,000. They did, so I do like that. And the reason is just guys here in America who want to use it on like a hunting type of gun, you know, for coyote hunting or something like that, that brighter temperature is going to give you better clarity on what you're actually looking at distance, rather than just being able to see it through fog or something, or smoke or something like that if you're a firefighter. So again, there is that light. I should also mention, guys, links to all this stuff will be down below in the video description. I should be rolling in technical data for you guys along the way. And there's also going to be bundles and things like that Olight always does. They also have some gifts that they're giving away if you reach a certain amount in terms of your order. So there is that. They're offering this guy here, which is FDE PL-Pro Valkyrie. I have a full review of this light on the main channel back when it was only available in black, but now they have it in FDE. As our interface here, where basically you can just touch it and hold, and that'll give you constant on. And then if you just want, or momentary on, excuse me, and if you want constant on, you just touch it like that and it will come on. And then if you want strobe, double click each side, and there is that. It is rechargeable there via their recharging system, and it does attach to 1913 or Glock rails very quickly, very easily. This one here has the Glock insert on it, but it comes with a 1913 insert, so you can swap that out depending on which one you want to use. Works well on pistols, but I personally really like these as well on like a pistol caliber braced pistol, for example. If you mount it up there at the 12 o'clock, I do it all the time, and I do like it. It's super ergonomic. If you need to switch shoulders, you can still activate it very easily either way, and you don't have to worry about offset if you're moving around door jams and things like that. So there is that. Also have this little guy here. This is the i3T EOS, powered by a AAA battery. I say it in every video because I just say the way I feel. I really don't care. I wish Olight would make these lights high, low for the US market. I get it that in other countries, people like low, high. But in America, particularly folks who watch my channel, tend to carry firearms, right? So if you're carrying a firearm and you're carrying a really small light like this, you want it to come on high first in case you need that high, and then you go to low second, but unfortunately, it's not the case. So anyway, it does have that two-way pocket clip, so you can carry it either way you want in your pocket. You can also mount it up on a baseball cap or something like that and work hands-free on it. Again, AAA battery power, so very common source, but that does limit the output that you're going to get out of it. And this is a special camo for this month only. We also have the O-bulb here, which these have become very popular for a number of reasons, but they turn on and can power a room, a cabinet, a safe, anything like that, and they have different modes, which we'll show you outside, as you guys will see. And the way they mount is via this thing here. This is a steel piece that comes with it, and it has some 3M tape on the back. You can mount it up there wherever you want to put it, and then this will stick to it because it has a magnet, which also doubles as the magnetic recharging portion of it. There is a safe about 10 feet to my left, and I have two of them in there because it's an old safe with no lights, and I have had these since those two are the first ones that came out. I use that safe all the time, and I use those lights all the time. I've never had to recharge them yet, so the battery life on it is really, really good. Then this guy, this is the last one we're going to show you here. Inside, of course, we're going to show you these outside as well. But this thing is nuts. Now, unfortunately, because of just supply issues, getting these out early to me, this is an orange one of these. This is the, I didn't say the name of it, but it's the Marauder. And the orange one is not going to be for sale this month. This month's is going to be the tan or FDE one. And the Marauder 2s are really, really cool lights. So obviously you can see it's got a ton of different actual outputs there on the front, and it's got a lot of candela, and it's also a wall of light. You don't see that a lot in flashlights. It is rechargeable via a USB-C port there, which is only accessible if you open it up, and if you close it up, you can't get to it, and it seals it off from water, which I do like there. One thing that's cool about this is it's not just charging the light itself, it's charging the power bank. So this is a power bank. You can use the USB-C to charge your phone, to charge any device that you can think of, a MacBook, anything like that, and it will work on there to charge it on up. It does have this piece here out front if you want to run a lanyard or something like that on it. And then it also has the power switch here, which is interesting because you can just sort of wheel up the power. You guys will see that when we go outside. And then this switch here makes it a thrower, giving you up to 160,000 candela if you want to do that. But even the candela in the normal mode is pretty darn crazy. And it's a very interesting cool light. Again, for the sale, it's going to be tan. So I guess that's it. Let's go outside and actually show you guys what these lights look like out there in the dark and come back in and wrap it up. For those of you that are new to the channel, the spot there where the wood fence meets iron fence is approximately 35 feet away. Those trees in the background are approximately 40 to 50 depending on the actual tree. And the light that you're seeing right now is coming out of the Marauder 2 on low. And we're going to turn it up and you guys are going to see a wall of light. So just kind of working through it here. Oops, I hit the off button, my bad. Let it refocus. Working through. And my camera is on manual, so it's as close as I can possibly set it to what I see here with my human eye. It does look like it's washing it out there a little bit on camera. It just kind of is what it is. But that hotspot is super hot, despite, again, you're basically getting 180 degrees of output there with that Marauder 2. It's just nuts. And then if you switch it over to the throw mode right there, that is your 160,000 candela. You guys can see there across the lake. I'm not sure what that is. From shoreline to shoreline, where we're about to be is 110 yards. I would guess over there that that is approximately 300 yards away. And not sure what you see on camera, but I mean, if there was a person standing there, I would easily be able to tell, you know, that they were there. I would easily be able to tell what they were wearing in terms of clothes, those sorts of things. Not sure if I could pick up what was in their hand at this distance, but you can see a ton. And again, that's at least 300 yards away. So pretty darn crazy in terms of output. Switch it back there to the wall of light, and that's what you see, and just kind of roll it down there through the different modes, and there it again is on low. Since we're talking about throw, here is the output from that Odin, and you guys can see this is on low right here, and it's probably hard to tell on camera, but that still is super bright in terms of the hotspot. But as you can see, very little to no spill. Now bump it up there on high, and that's the difference again. Low, high, and again, let's look out there. Again, that is 300 plus yards away, and you can see everything. Maybe not with the camera, but I'm telling you, the human eye, again, easily identify people out there. No problems at all. If I wanted to, or, you know, if it was a coyote out there or something like that, especially if you had an optic looking through it, you'd see everything. It's an interesting technology. One thing I'm noticing now, just standing out here, is when the bugs get in it, they jump out of the beam pattern. They do not like it. First time I'm seeing that. But anyway, interesting side note, but that is the Odin. Next up here, you're seeing the output from the Freyr. This is on low with the tail cap being pressed in. And then if I press it full bore with that gas pedal tail cap, you guys can see there it's got a good hot spot on it, but also a good bit of spill to it as well. And if I want to work through those side buttons there, what you'll see is the first one is going to come on in color, red obviously, and then work through it. The next one is going to be green, and the next one's going to be blue. And then of course if you press it again, you'll get into, oops, I missed it, I went too fast, the white one. That is your white low mode, super low mode. So if you really want to extend the battery life and those sorts of things, you can do so. Again, if you also want to use it as a signaling type of device, you can do so there with the white. And let me find that button. It's kind of hard to do out here in the dark. There you go. And again, the red shows off a lot better out here than it does in the studio. And again, for signaling, there's your green wand, and also for signaling, there is your blue wand. Now you're looking at the output from the Olight PL-Pro. You guys can see it's got a pretty good hotspot there, good candela, and the hotspot at that distance, again 35 feet, is probably about 10 feet wide, but you can see it's also got a lot of spill there as I come across off camera. Not quite 180 degrees, but definitely a good bit. Like if you were in a room or something like that, or just looking out there at the fence, I guess let's look at the right edge of the fence over here. Obviously, without a light on, if somebody was there, you'd have a hard time seeing them. But even if you press the light right there, that guy right here, if he was there, would be much easier to detect and tell if he was a friend, foe, threat, etc. Now you're looking at the output from the i3T. This is on low, again, as it would come on at first. And then if I double click it, there it is on high. Again, wish it was high, low. If anybody's paying attention at Olight, low, high. I moved the camera around a little bit so you can see the bush that's next to me. And again, we're going to turn on the O bulb just to kind of give you an idea of what it's going to do in terms of illumination on that bush right there. Turn it off, turn it on, and then work through the different modes. You guys can see there on high, it's pretty darn bright. Again, if you had this in a safe or a cabinet or something like that, it would fully illuminate everything on that mode there. And then it also has the ability to go into red. So if you wanted to be sort of tactical or not seen from a far distance or something like that at a campsite, that would be a good option. And then if you wanted to signal those around you, you can also get it in the flashing mode there on red. Then you press and hold again, and it goes back to that low mode. As of when I'm recording this, we are 1 day away from having a full moon, so we have plenty of natural illumination out here. And across the lake, just from shoreline to shoreline, it's 110 yards like I mentioned earlier at this point. And that output right there that you see is from the Valkyrie, the little pistol light there. And you guys can see up into the trees there. You guys should be able to tell there on camera. I'm going to tell you, as I've always said, in person it's clearer than it is on camera, but that is a little sort of fishing shack over there. But you know, if somebody was standing there, I couldn't tell what was in their hand. That much I can tell you, but I would know that they were there. You guys can probably see the geese hanging out there in the middle of the lake. And just to compare that here, we have the actual Freyr itself. And again, on low mode, you guys can see sort of the wall of light. We have a rosemary bush. Part of it's dead there on the lower right of your screen, but just looking out there at the grass, you guys can see it is illuminating it, but not too much there across the lake, maybe a little bit. But when I crank it up, yeah, it's insanely bright. The camera just doesn't do it justice. Again, if somebody was out there at that shack, I'd easily be able to tell what they were wearing. I could tell if they had a gun or a cell phone in their hand. It is that clear. It is that illuminating. And again, just like over here at the rosemary bush, even if you have it pointed over there, that rosemary bush is bright as day. So wall of light for sure. Again, low mode, and then cranking it up using that wheel there. And then again, if we wanted to go 160 candela on it and just really light it up, I mean, if there was somebody in there, they'd be coming out wondering what the heck was going on right now. That much I could certainly guess. And again, super, super impressive light in terms of power. This right here is going to be the Freyr on high, using the tail cap, of course. And if we want to do it on low, you guys can see what that looks like. Again, you could tell that there was a little shack over there, but not much more. On high, yeah, you can see pretty much everything. Again, I could discern a gun from a cell phone at this distance with my human eye. Maybe tough to tell on camera, but I'm telling you, you can. You can also very easily see that storage shed over there to the left of it versus the actual little fishing shack there. And then now we're going to look at that LEP technology. Kind of show you what that looks like. This is on low. I wish my camera could do a better job. Maybe I can if I zoom in. Hold on, I've never tried that because I've never had a light like this, but let me see. Stand by. We're all about to learn something here. So again, that shack is probably from where I'm standing, because we're 10 yards off the shore, and that one's probably 10 yards off the shore. So it's probably 130 yards away. That's on low. Let that sink in. All right, and that's on high. That's crazy. So again, you know, if you're out hunting, scanning a field or something like that, again, easily discern between a coyote and a deer or something like that. Easily discern between a cow and a hog. Anything like that. I mean, you can see everything. Let's see if I can zoom in even more. I mean, it's crazy, guys. Let's zooming. Look at that. Look at that. You can see everything in there. That's crazy. But that's what I can see with my human eye, so it really is quite impressive in terms of the detail you get out of this light. Now that you've seen the beam outputs of these lights, I think you pretty much know just about everything that you need to know to make an informed decision on whether or not you want to purchase them. Really, again, some of these things are super impressive. That almost 300,000 candela is nuts. This thing is nuts in terms of the wall of light, and it just makes you laugh. It makes all your neighbors look at you funny if you're out there doing tests. Trust me, I know. I mentioned already that the links will be down below in the video description to pick them up. It is an affiliate link. They don't pay me for these videos, but they do give me a credit if you guys want to order over there. And if you don't, no worries. I appreciate you guys watching the video, subscribing, following wherever you're watching this, and I look forward to seeing every one of you in the next video.